Hey everyone, this is episode 472 of the OotiniCast. 472 of the OotiniCast. This on August 30th of 2023. This is going to be the raw version of the show with all flubs and errors intact. And we will then clean it up and make an audio podcast out of it, which will go out tomorrow. We will also put the raw version of the show out on the YouTubes. So there we go. Let me go ahead and I'm going to adjust some things here. And then I'm going to let folks know that we're live. Well, let's see. All right.
And it begins.
It begins. Doesn't begin very well if I put the wrong address in, though. There we go. All right, it's finally been sent out.
Oh, hold on. I gotta. Oops, wrong one. It's this one.
Okay.
I will retweet your tweet. Live now and retweet. Repost.
Kitty and I were talking about Jaws, and now that's all I can think about.
I know, right? I took another drink about an hour ago.
It's gone right to my head.
I can't believe it's almost. Hey, what's up, Mr. Sith? Hey,
it's
old
almost
Daz,
what, September?
It's almost September.
Yeah, I know.
September.
Crazy.
The 11th day of September. That's one of my favorite songs. Boom, boom.
That's a great song, yeah. It's one I actually have. I've kind of like grown to love more over the years. Like I think at the time I didn't, I think I had sort of like the typical 80s kid sort of, knee-jerk reaction to 70s music and just sort of didn't care about it and whatever.
Oh, I
always over the years
that.
I've learned to like it for sure.
That. What else was it? My parents were my dad was really, really into music though, so it was always around when I was a kid. Always playing, always in the car listening. My dad was always on top of all this whatever.
Yeah, I had my parents were just a little bit older than maybe average, so they were like just barely pre-Beatles, so we listened to like a lot of 50s and early 60s rock around the house, and I have a thorough grounding in that, and then sort of learned all the rest of it over the years.
Yeah, I worked at this job, and every day, because the other prep cook and I couldn't agree on music to play. So we just listened to the oldies. And so after doing that job for like 4 years, 5 days a week, 8 hours, I knew all that old stuff. Right. But I like it. We both.
Oh yeah, there's some great stuff from back then for sure.
We'd have impromptu dance parties.
Yeah,
in the back of the kitchen.
This thing wake me up when September ends. A little bit later than the September song from Earth, Wind, and Fire, but that's a great song though. That's my son's favorite song, or at least it was for quite a while. Yeah, he really liked that.
Great.
I sort of like when he was young, he was I sort of went through this thing where it's like I had realized that I'd sort of gotten away from listening to music, and so I didn't really know much of anything past my college age, basically, just sort of when you're around the scene and whatever.
Right.
And so I forced myself to kind of go back and like listen and kind of just pick up a bunch of different stuff from different people from 92 when I graduated all the way through whatever this was, like 2007 or something like that.
Nice.
And so I really got into Green Day for a while, and I really like a lot of their songs.
Green Day.
Yeah, right. So I know that song well. And yeah, anyway, I'm ready to go. Are you ready, Kitty?
We
got all our Audacity rolling and all that good stuff? Okay. Excellent.
Ready.
All right. I can tell I have something.
I don't know if I showed you. Sith Lord Britt sent Kitty and I 3D printed lightsabers.
Oh, that's slick.
Isn't
3D
it cool?
printed. Wow.
Yeah, and it has like a chamber.
Oh, can you put like a light bulb in there or something?
It has a crystal in it.
Oh, it has a little crystal. That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
And she sent one for both of us.
That is cool.
I was just like, thank you, Britt. You're the best.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say it had like a flashlight in there. Like a little light you could make the end glow or something. No, that's really cool that you have a little Heidi crystal thingy. That's awesome. All right, I think we're ready to go. And going in 5. Hi, and welcome to the OotiniCast. Still in one piece and still 75% original parts. This is episode 472 being recorded on Wednesday, August 30th, 2023. I'm your host, Chill, and with me is my co-host, KittyKissz. Hey, Kitty.
Hey, Chill. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm not sure we're exactly 75% original parts, but I do like that quote. It was from Ahsoka. We'll talk a little bit about the show without spoilers later on. Meantime, let us know what you've been up to since the last show.
Well, I think that you know exactly what I've been up to because you've been up to the same thing.
Practically
I was looking over
day,
the show
yes.
notes and I went, oh, that's almost literally the first thing I wrote in my show notes was the same thing that you had in yours, but instead of your name, it's my name and vice versa. I have been doing a lot of PvP on Starforge with Chill.
Yep.
We've been trying to get on. We've been pretty diligent.
Pretty
about
good.
Doing
almost
5
every
days
day.
a week.
Yeah, almost every day.
Yeah, and playing. We've been at least finishing one of the dailies. So I have been in total, I don't know if this is the same for you, but I've been getting both weeklies done every week. Have you been clearing the weeklies?
At least one of the weeklies, yes.
One of them?
And sometimes getting close to a second one, although I don't remember if I actually got a second one on any of them. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, so it's great. I've been having a lot of fun. I've been trying out characters that are, sorry, not characters, but builds that and classes that I don't normally play, just to try them out. And it's interesting because when you're PvPing, you can see some of that burst damage when you get up into the higher levels, 75 and plus, is just devastating. Yeah, I know that you and I a couple weeks ago got melted in literally seconds.
Right.
Like, I want to say maybe 3.
I remember that,
maybe 4 seconds. Just got melted back to back.
Was it a Marauder? I can't remember.
It was a Marauder, and that's what made me want to do the Carnage build. Right. I'm like, okay, that's Carnage. Let me try it out and see, blah, blah, blah. But so I've been trying the Carnage build. I've been liking it.
Right. It's direct damage, lots of armor pen.
Burst.
Lots of fat. There's some alacrity and stuff built into it.
Oh, yeah. Too. You got alacrity and you have a speed bonus to your character. So you're like flying around all over.
That happened today, too. We were against a Sentinel who was clearly doing that. And he was just jogging in and out of range, and it was crazy how fast he was. It was literally a 2v4, and they took us to 3 rounds because we, like, you and I were the highest, and we had a couple of like 50 people, which wasn't very great. They only had 2 people, but one was a 79 healer and the other was the 75, I think.
That healer Sentinel was a monster.
Yeah, and that because they have the reflect, they have a lot of self healing, and as well as the actual regular healing, and basically had to burn him down until he had like no energy left, and then and no cooldowns, and then you could take him out. It was really rough.
And the whole time that Sentinel was just pounding on everybody.
They actually won round 2. It was crazy.
They won. Well, they started. It was 4 against 2, and then the next round the whole time. Was it both rounds?
All 3 rounds. There was just the 2 of them.
No, I think that they got another one, didn't they?
No,
I could have sworn
we barely took them in the 3rd round.
Maybe I was thinking of that second match.
Yeah, the second match, it was like a 4v3, I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
But man, so the Sentinels are fast. We can't.
Super fast.
I don't know how to stop them at the level I'm at because anything that I had that had a like a slow, he just went right through it.
Yeah, they seem there's some invulnerability to slows, I think, that is built in as well. It's pretty brutal, and he's really fast.
Boost. Mm-hmm. And what sucked about it too, when you're on the
receiving
getting
end,
your ass whooped end, is that their entire group gets to run fast like that. So
when they predate,
the predation. They're really, really hard to get. But of course, Chill and I were the last ones standing. We took them down.
We did take them down. And I was like vanishing and having to heal up out of combat and stuff.
I was like, where the hell did you go?
Yeah, I was like, well,
I'm always like, why would someone leave me to deal with this?
I know. But then I didn't want to, but it's like I was at like 5% health and I had to vanish.
Well,
fortunately, that build doesn't have a lot of dots. But anyway, sorry.
I got hit. My health was going down, and I was thinking about stealthing out too. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I'm gonna just kind of stay and keep going and see, because all of my
because you could tell I was alive, right? Yeah, at least you could tell I was alive at a glance.
Yeah, I was looking up at your
at my health bar,
and I'm like, okay, he's not
he's
gone.
Not dead.
And so I was like, okay, I wanted to go a direction that you might be, so that when you came back, you wouldn't have far to travel.
Right.
But they were so fast.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Like it
was really nasty.
Places, but
we're starting to do some pretty good damage though. It'll be interesting to see like when we really hit like the 73 and then 75 when we get tacticals and some of the last other important
goodies,
passives and buffs and choices and stuff. How well we're doing.
Because we keep... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, because I have my rotation now, but I don't have a lot of the other stuff. Like, I can roll, but I don't get the heal that I can do after the roll that I'll be able to do later on. There's some other stuff, too. Sorry, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that... I forgot. Doesn't matter. I'm having a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, okay. So... we keep re-rolling characters, or at least we've done it a couple times.
Right.
Where we start playing Lobie again.
Right.
So we haven't even got
the healer, right? The healer and the first character,
right?
She's right around there. Yeah, Karma's right around 75 as the healer. Yeah.
But I've been having fun just kind of switching it up.
Yeah,
trying something else and stuff. So it's pretty fun. But now that we're kind of getting up into that range, I've noticed that the higher levels, that it gets good. It gets really good. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's fun to have all the tools too. So
yeah, sure. I hit level 20 on my PvP seasoning today.
Nice.
So I only have
exactly where I am, but I'm in the first half of the season. We have the Mind Trap poll was about that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we have quite a ways away to go. I'm thinking that I might actually try it on Satil Shan, like level 80 stuff. Once
right, because the level 80 stuff should pop just fine. Yeah,
it should be okay. And it'll be interesting to see though. How it really pops.
Right.
Because I have no idea. I'm not sure at all.
Yeah.
I haven't queued on Satil Shan at Endgame in a long, long time. So,
Sounds good.
So I only got a couple more levels to go and I'm going to be done. I'll have my armor and everything will be wonderful. Right? It's all going to be great after this, right?
Yeah. Oh, sure. No problem.
Good to know. But that's it for me, Chill.
Okay.
I pass the torch to thee.
All right, we'll see. Let's see who's shows us in the chat here. 01Ella, Bantha Mojita's here, Darth Dirty Socks, Drapsnat, Eflux, Fortnite Babe, Ikai 500, Immortalized Love is here, Kata, Kala1, Kitty Treats, Lady Meltza, Old Seven Taz, Squishy Twishy, and Starry Saber all here. Hey, everyone. And so the basic was the PvP, and like I said, most every day. On a couple of days when it wasn't, then I did Wrecker from Bad Batch back on Satil Shan, and I have him as a bounty hunter, story-wise, but with Vanguard abilities. Really happy with how that's going. He is still alive. It's a hardcore character, so for my hardcore rules, I have my companion on passive, and no deaths allowed. And he's now, as far as I've ever gotten any hardcore character, so great. He's a tank, so I think that helps. But yeah, I think it definitely helps as a hardcore character to be a tank because there's just more survivability that's sort of built in.
Is it taking you a long time for
the fights and stuff?
Fights?
Yeah, some of them. It definitely takes a little bit longer for sure, and I am skank tanking it, so it's mostly damaged gear, but with a shield offhand, and the only other real tank, and even the offhand is modifiable, and I put alacrity and stuff in there. I've decided the alacrity is kind of fun to play with as a tank if you're going to skank tank, at least for this sort of thing.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it doesn't. Something I found out, and this could be a tip of the week, but if you're tanking, just know that alacrity does not affect. It affects every cooldown, but not defensive cooldowns. All the defensive cooldowns are not affected at all by alacrity. Yeah, I thought that was weird too, but yeah, I guess I could see why. Like they didn't want to, give an incentive to have alacrity on tanks in operations and stuff. Plus, that would mean, like when they're building boss fights and stuff like that, they'd have to figure out, okay, well, what happens if the tank can get this cooldown, a little faster because they decided to use alacrity. So yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, all the other cooldowns work though, and it actually kind of helps because like when I'm doing these abilities, I build the stacks and then I can reduce heat, but I need to build the stacks. So the more abilities I'm popping, it actually helps me get some of my heat and my energy back. So it actually works pretty well. And yeah, so he is now past Ilum. Like I said, the furthest one I ever took hardcore died on the last fight of Ilum before, and now he has survived that, and he's now halfway through Mekeb. And we actually got through because he's a bounty hunter, he's on the Empire side, and we got through the Isotope 5 droid fight pretty well, actually. I was kind of surprised. Yeah, because I was a little worried that it might be kind of difficult, like with no companion help and how long the fight is and stuff like that.
And that you can't die.
Right, and not being able to die. But it turns out it was actually pretty reasonably easy to deal with. It really wasn't that bad. So it was good. And let's see.
What pots are you using?
What?
What heal potions are you using?
What I am doing is I just made him a biochem person so that if he gets to 70, I have some gold ones that are just reusable.
Gotcha.
And at that point, I'll just be able to use them as a regular cooldown instead of having to worry about if I run out or not. But yeah, so I do have a bunch of like whatever the current or whatever reasonable level ones are. And then for adrenals, I'm actually using adrenals because I hardly ever use adrenals when I'm leveling. Like it feels weird almost to use them.
Are those the alacrity ones?
I actually use the shield ones, as a tanking thing. So because they're actually pretty potent. Like they reduce a certain amount of damage up to a certain amount, and the certain amount is actually quite high. And I think the idea that they have behind it is if you're being like healed, it means that eventually it'll run out if you take too much damage over that period of time. But since I'm just all I have is self-healing, it really just lasts the whole time. So it's like 20% less damage for however long the adrenal lasts. I think they're like 12 or 15 seconds or something like that.
I had a question for you. About PvP. Did you use some of those grenades I gave you?
I have a couple. Yeah, I keep forgetting about it because I have some of the slowing ones in one bar and then the stun ones that you gave me in another. So sometimes I forget to use them, but I have used them a couple of times.
They can be little lifesavers.
They can. They absolutely can.
But I should have used it against
the Sentinel. But I guess if he's really invulnerable, if it's really invulnerable, it's not really going to slow him down that much, unfortunately, except for when that special.
I know what we can do. We get little tiny snow speeders and we go around his legs with some some dental
tie
floss
his legs together,
trip him.
It felt like we're going to have to do that. It was crazy. So anyway, that was good stuff. And then that'll bring us to the tip of the week. So you and I each have one. Go ahead and give us yours, Kitty.
Okay, mine's super dorky. For this tip of the week, you're going to need a metronome. Now, I know not everybody has a metronome, but we all have cell phones. You can find a free one, or you can go to the Google store and find a free one. And if so I like to watch movies while I level my characters, my companions. So this is a good one. You get a metronome. Okay. That's number one. Number two, make sure that your companion gift giving legacy of promptness is to level 3.
Right.
So that you increase the speed of the gift giving cast bar.
Yeah. At level 20, you can get that.
Right. Next, set the time signature to 3/4 time and 108 beats per minute.
Okay. I've
found that is, now you could do it in 4/4 time, but I, being a dork, music dork, I like a 3/4 time, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 instead of 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So, and then I just have it set up so that I hit my 0 button on my number pad, and I have the goodies in my toolbar, and boop, and just sit, watch a movie. 1 2 3 1 2 3, and before you know it, you're gonna have a character up to 50.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. That was funny. I hadn't thought of doing it that way. Yeah, I've sometimes watch videos or whatever when I'm gift giving, but I just tend to sort of I rest my hand on my, this one's not an Nostromo anymore, but it's the same idea. It's called a Tartarus or something weird like that. And I just sort of hammer the button.
You just go, you just tap it.
Yeah, and it gives me the not available yet, not available yet, not available yet.
Right. You know, and you could, now that I think about it, you could go write, a whatever beats per minute, like 3/4 time, 108 per minute, and then Google that and see what song comes on.
Oh yeah.
You could probably put the song on and just go, but anyway, so it's just something that, because and it's great exercise if you're trying to teach yourself time. If you're, let's say you're not very good at keeping a time signature, keep time. There you go. Trust me.
It makes sense.
Doing it a week straight, you're never going to forget 3/4 time.
3/4 time, 108 beats per minute.
So just a fun one.
Yeah. So, all right. And so for my tip, sometime during the last couple of weeks, I think in the first week period, Lady Meltza had made a new character, and we tried the Viking Space Dock and the Rishi Stronghold trick where you boot them out and then they get XP by running around those areas. That no longer works. So that kick command for new tunes now sends them back only to their starting planet now. I'm not sure. I assume that it would kick them out normally if they had maybe their ship, or maybe if they were level 10 even. I'm not sure, but at least at level 1 they will just get them right back to their starting planet. However, I also tried the training and skills mission exit dump onto the fleet, and that one still works. So if you have access to the training and skills, which you will if you're a subscriber, for instance, it's that mission that automatically comes up that gives you a second combat style.
Right.
And if you just start that mission but then exit it instead of actually going through with it, it will put you on the fleet. So that still happens, but other than that, it's pretty hard now to get a new character off of the starting planet at level 1. Go ahead.
And why would someone want to do that, Chill? What would the benefit be of that?
Well, for example, you could, if you wanted, you could actually go and grab your crew skills, for example, because you don't actually have to be level 10. You'd have to be level 10 pretty much to get to the fleet, but if you get to the fleet, you don't actually have to be level 10 to pick up the crew skills, and that's probably the best reason. You would also, I'm not sure if the crew skill trainer mission is available at level 1, or if you have to wait till level 10 for that one.
It is.
If it's available, okay. If it's available, go ahead and grab that too. There you go. And you can also talk to all the crew skill trainers, and you get codexes for each one, so you're getting XP for each one as well.
Right.
They've nerfed it slightly over the time, but it's still pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And especially if you were level 1, it's going to get you up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And DL Smoothwolf sent in one too. It said, "Greetings, folks. DL Smoothwolf transmitting from the gold beaches of Corellia. Rishi's off the list due to pirates and Revenites. And Lon and Rakata Prime is dangerous also because of Revenites and the cannibalistic Rakata that have remained on the planet since forever ago. My tip of the week would be to unlock the resort swimwear armor set for whatever beach or summer attire suits our style, and end the last days of summer with a beach party." And maybe add a giveaway or a few in just in case. So thank you, DL. Yep, it's always fun to do the Space Barbie thing. So there we go. And Kitty, we are going to give out one of the jetpack codes. A couple of them today. We'll do one of them right now.
Okay. The person that I have, I'm not sure who's won or who hasn't won yet.
Okay.
But I've got Bantha Mojito.
Okay. That sounds good. And
I love your name
code
too. I know I say that all the time, Bantha Mojito. But it's a great name.
All right.
Bantha Mojito, you are the new proud owner of a cool-ass jetpack. Please send your tips to OotiniCast@gmail.com before the next show for a chance to win a Tonfon or M83R pet code or an M2 B9 droid pet code courtesy of Bioware, plus 450 cartel coins.
All right. And there we go. Excellent. And let me just update the list here. Cool. And all right. There we go. Get back to the show notes. And get back to the chat as well.
Meanwhile, back at the mine trap.
All right, so for the Mind Trap, that brings us to the Mind Trap for the whole this week. How far through the PvP season called Reign of Glory, which I always forget they have titles as names as well as like numbers, are you? For the next show, post appreciated. PvP is, sort of a niche thing, so we didn't get tons of votes, but we got 69 votes. The winner was 0 with 68% of the vote. So even the ones who are voting are actually not doing PvP.
Well, thank you for the votes, though.
Thank you.
That's very appreciated, yeah.
And then 14% said 1 through 12, which I think that was me, at least at the time. I might be just past that now, but not by much. And 15.9% were in the second half of the season, 13 to 24, and 1.4% said done. Although, as it was pointed out, it's not really possibly to be done yet by Shintar. It takes at least 7 weeks to complete the track. So, we
have some liars.
You could argue I shouldn't have included that as an option at all. But
I like that you did that.
It was kind of fun to see. And, it does highlight, like, the things like Galactic Seasons. If you're really diligent, you can get through it pretty quickly, but it's designed for people to be very casual about it, so there's not too much pressure. You have to get to level 100 really is not all that difficult. The PvP season, you kind of have to stick with it though, and you have to kind of get through it. We're pretty good amount through the season, and yet can't really be done yet. And of the people who are, about half of them are in the first half and half of them are in the second half. So there you go. All right. And let's see. We're going to get to the holo feed now. Let me update this. I just like to have the holo feed at the top of the page. All right, 7.3.1 coming soon. This is from Eric Musco. As you may have seen in our Game Update 7.1 is coming soon article, which we talked about the last show, there are a few changes coming to Galactic Seasons starting this next season. With Galactic Season 5, we're going to try something a little different. There will not be a seasonal companion. We're doing this for a variety of reasons that we hope will improve the Galactic Season experience, along with creating some separate opportunities as well, with more on that later. For starters, you can still expect a great character-driven story within each season. It just won't need to operate around the limitation of a single companion. That story will unlock based on your Galactic Season progress. So, previously it was sort of based on what level your companion had gotten up to, which was kind of tied to what was happening with the Galactic Season. So it was sort of connected, but this time it'll be more directly tied. Anyway, getting back to what Eric says, we obviously have a lot of companions in SWTOR. A lot. So when we make the decision to give you another one, we want to make sure it's really meaningful and more fleshed out where possible, and we think the Galactic Seasons may not be the place for that. But we'll see. Let us know what you think. In that same vein, though, we do have some ideas of places where we could achieve those goals with a companion, but more on that another day. Makes a quick comlink to Lane. Over to Joe, who's going to update you on how we're going to adjust the reward track to account for the lack of a companion. And then Joe Stramaglia said, hey, folks, but wait, there's more. So we're adding new rewards to make up the slots that would have been companion-related. So there was a lot of companion ones relating to the gifts that were given to the companion. There were the little customizations that would come along as well, stuff like that. So, and season story will now be driven by Galactic Season progress. We'll continue to make changes here and evolve the format over time based on your feedback and data. New rewards. Removing companion from the season leaves a pretty large hole in the reward structure. To make up for this, we're adding some new reward types, which makes sense. Giving more of the seasonal reputation items and adding a new item in the cartel market, which will bind on legacy. So there is still going to be reputation involved, but it's not going to be like through items that you grab from your companion, basically, because it's not working that way. And these items will bind on legacy. More explicitly, here's a list of new items that would have not been on the track prior to the change. More seasonal reputation items, 5 new personnel decorations based off of popular armors. So that's interesting.
That's cool.
So they're gonna.
Those are really cool looking.
Yeah. So they're gonna have right. So basically, it's like it's like the armor stand sort of idea, but it's actually displaying a particular armor from inside the game. I love that.
Cool. Yeah, I do too.
A new unique consumable item that grants Jawa intel to yourself as well as other players. That sounds like just more of a flavor thing than an actual useful item, but that's okay. But that's okay. I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Anything Jawa.
Yeah, it'll be fun. An exclusive new pet and a white and white dye modules. I'm sure that's going to be right towards the end, that'll be nice. Because of course black and black is really popular and black and white is really nice as well, but white and white has its uses for sure, especially if you're doing something like stormtroopery, as well as like there's just tons of other sort of reasons to have just exclusively white
cosplays
and non-cosplay. Good stuff. So that'll be interesting. I don't think they've ever had anything like that before in this sort of thing.
Not like a same color dye module,
right,
of any type in the Galactic Season.
And the dye modules that they've given are the ones that stack. Well, they've made them stack actually, which is nice because they were starting to take a lot of room.
So much room.
So it was nice that they did make that happen, but they were kind of unique too. Like they were dyes that weren't really available any other way, which was it's always nice to see new colors in the game.
Always,
It might be. I'm not sure if those dyes ever come on the Galactic Seasons vendor, but I'd be interested to see if like maybe like later on, like maybe when some people have had to actually use all 10 of theirs and they want more, to get like, because there's like the blue and purple one was rather nice, right. And there's like a
season
kind of
tokens on them or something.
Yeah, and there's like a brown and green one that I could see people using maybe for like camo looks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll continue to make adjustments here as we grow the seasonal reward structure based on your feedback and the data. Season story, although we won't... excuse me. Let me have a little water. Here we go. Season story. Although we won't have a companion, there will still be character-driven stories unique to each season. Progress in the story will be based off of special transmission items that are gained from the seasonal reward track and mission completion. Players can progress on the track regardless of mission progress, and you don't even need to do the missions if you don't want to. The unlocks work similar to the alert items that we had with the companions, except there are more of them when you get to that unlock. Then you also get an item that can be consumed if you've completed the requisite missions before it. The new season is a little more lighthearted, but also explores some intricacies on the dark side of the Force. We hope you'll enjoy it. That'll be interesting, yeah. And the droid who's apparently going to be shepherding some or all of the stories. We don't know how much of it, but it's definitely going to be a big part of it. It's a 3v1L, so it looks like evil. Yeah, so anyway, with all that, we look forward to reading your feedback on all the changes. There'll be more coming in the future for Galactic Seasons 6 and onward.
Nice.
All right, yes. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't mind missing out on a companion. Not that I don't like the companions, and I have this, the way that I look at it is, with that many companions, there's bound to be one that you really like. Or multiple that you really like.
Yeah, so I agree.
The more the merrier, but not getting one, that's cool. That's fine too.
Yep, I agree. Then Bryant Wood finished up or followed up with even more stuff. I'm here to follow up on some additional changes you'll see in Galactic Season 5. Here's your TLDR for min-maxers. New objectives for companions, space missions, and operations. Changes to Flashpoint and Uprising objectives, and more objectives for subscribers.
Yay!
So that's interesting, yeah. So new objectives. Looking at the content offerings of Galactic Seasons, we've added a few new objectives with the goals of creating more variety in play and making objectives easier to understand. Objectives involving companions have been expanded to require companions in specific roles. Defeat enemies with a companion set to DPS role, heal role, or tank role. Space mission objectives have been split into regular and heroic objectives, complete space missions, or complete heroic space missions, and those are still tough, and you really need to have like all the best gear for sure.
I've never beat one. I've never completed one.
I've completed them. It's been years, and it's very tricky. You have to like do them a few times just to be able to know like, okay, this is when I'm going to use my EMP. This is when I'm going to use my torpedo and all that sort of stuff. It's rough. New objectives will be added for players doing operations content. Complete specified operations on story difficulty, or complete specified operations on veteran or master difficulty. Cool. That's interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Let's see. And reworking group content objectives. With Season 5, we'll be making changes to Flashpoint and Uprising objectives. Previously, these objectives used a point system, which allowed players to complete any Flashpoint and gain bonus completion for specific Flashpoints. Although, to be fair, like, the bonuses were so high that if you weren't doing the specific ones that they wanted you to, it would take a lot of Flashpoints. So, I mean, you're pretty much going to do one of the ones that they wanted, but whatever, it's all good. Let's not quibble. Throughout Galactic Seasons, we've seen that this point system has a large potential to create bugs and makes it harder to understand how to progress the objectives. Will we simplify, especially since like there's like extra bonus points if you do the special bonus boss for the particular flashpoints, and it did get a little complex. We'll be simplifying these objectives to remove to do any portions and the bonus boss portion. Here's an example of an objective from Season 4 and how that objective will appear in Season 5. So the Season 4, we would see something like complete flashpoints, 1 point. Earn bonus progress for completing Depths of Manon, Assault on Tython, Korriban Incursion, or Secrets of the Enclave. Requires content, 4 points. Earn additional bonus progress for defeating their bonus bosses, 3 points. In Season 5, it would look like this. Complete flashpoints from the following list. Depths of Manon, Assault on Tython, Korriban Incursion, or Secrets of the Enclave. Requires content. So no bonus bosses, you don't have to worry about that, and as long as it's on the list, you're good to go. Nice. I like that. Yeah. The same pattern will apply to uprisings, requiring the player to complete specific uprisings rather than just any uprising.
God, I haven't done an uprising in a long time.
I know, I keep forgetting about them too.
I do too.
They are cool.
Hopefully this will give them some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are really cool. I like them.
Yeah. More objectives for subscribers. We've heard your feedback on adding more group content to Galactic Seasons, and specifically more operations content. To achieve this, we'll be adding additional subscriber or preferred only objective each week, increasing the number of objectives available to players from 10 to 11. Players will still only be able to complete 7 objectives per week, but we'll have more options available. This new objective will create more opportunities for players to tackle uprisings, chapters, and operations, which makes sense because they can't add too many of those for everyone, because if you're not subscribed, then a lot of times you just don't have the ability to do operations and stuff like that. Although they've changed war zones and arenas, so PvPers can do it regardless, which is nice. Those are your objective changes coming to Galactic Season 5. We're excited for the new season to release and can't wait for y'all to experience it. As always, keep the constructive feedback coming, and we'll continue to make Galactic Seasons the best SWTOR experience for everyone. Bryant out.
Thanks, Bryant.
And then someone asked on the forums, to be extra clear, because English isn't my native language, when you say the Galactic Season 5 missions work similar to the companion alert items, you mean that they will unlock in collections and be available to join other characters and alts, even after Galactic Season 5 ends, correct? And the answer was, they will not be in collections. However, if you've completed the mission on any character, you'll be able to reacquire the mission items on other characters from the Galactic Seasons vendor, Jaliet Null. So at least you'll have a way to do it on another character later on if you want to.
Cool.
Nice. I don't know about you, Kitty, but for now, I've sort of caught up where I have I kind of bought down pretty much everything I think I'm going to ever need on the Galactic Seasons vendor. And I'm just kind of building them up again now. And so unless there's something expensive like Stronghold or another sort of, I don't know what else it would be, but something expensive from the vendor, I'm pretty soon I'm going to be capping out. So
yeah, you got to spend it then.
Maybe this is a way to possibly use it, like if you want to see the story again on someone else.
Yeah,
where it makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
And if you play anything like me, then you don't spend them till the next season. Mm-hmm. So I usually wait a season, get the stuff that I really need, quote unquote, and then I save all of my points for the next season. So if there's something I really want when it first starts, I can buy it immediately.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. And Bryant Wood said, hey players, I'm back to quickly touch on changes coming in 731 regarding Kai Zyken and his Spoils of War set bonus armors. We've gone through a few iterations of distributing these armors, and various bugs have popped up, preventing the system from working as intended, but no longer. In 731, players will discover that Kai Zyken has disappeared from the fleet, pending investigation by both the Republic and Empire, which it certainly makes sense for his lore.
Yeah.
Instead, set bonus armors will be directly purchasable in armor crates from a new vendor on the same location on the fleet. Each crate will contain all pieces of the set bonus armor and will cost 10,000 tech fragments and 1,000,000 credits. So wow, it's going to burn down your tech frags big time.
Like all the way.
Yeah, basically all the way. Please note that the set bonuses obtained by armor mech and synth weaving schematics will not be purchasable in crates, but the schematics will be available on the new vendor for the current price of 2,000 tech fragments and 1,000,000 credits. The tactical schematics for Arm Tech, Artifice, Biochem, and Cybertech will also remain available from the vendor for the current price of 2,000 tech fragments and 1,000,000 credits.
Nice.
So yeah, I think actually this will help folks, especially if they are achievement hounds, because like if you didn't get the achievements from all the various armors that were sort of available pre 7.0 already, then getting it from Kai Zyken was sort of a pain in the rump. And I can see how this should make it a lot more straightforward for people.
That's
and also I've noticed like a couple of times when I've been looking from say Switorista.com and I'm looking at different armor sets, and I'll notice it's like, oh, that belt or whatever, that belt would look really good for this character, but it's on Kai Zyken's, and it's how am I even so then I'd have to get it, find it, look for it, and it's like, forget it, I'll find another belt that'll work almost as well.
Although I was checking some of my crafters that can make those tacticals, that got the tactical schematics. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are really good.
Yeah. I think they sell pretty well too, although I haven't sold one for at least a year, maybe longer.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there's a lot of people making them either, so there's probably not that much competition for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would
Keep
be
an
good.
eye on those.
Yep. And the other one is that the other two European servers, so we had Leviathan right around the time of the last show 2 weeks ago. Leviathan French server moved to the cloud. And now the other two, again, right around today in this case, the other two European servers have also to move to the cloud. This is not a merger of the other two. They are still separate. So there's still an English one and a German one and still the French one. But yeah, they're now all on the thing. They went up, and apparently they finished their downtime faster than they were expecting, which is great. And yeah, they're back. They've been back up.
Fantastic.
Yep.
It's very exciting.
Yeah,
I'm very excited about this.
And that means the US ones have got to be coming soonish. I mean, if they keep it on the same track, maybe on the same track, maybe 2 weeks from now. I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
And then the question is, do they do both of them at once, or do they do one and then the other? I don't know. Oof. So we'll see.
I wonder what the odds are in Vegas.
The facts form that she answered, asked and answered, were: will anything happen to my characters? No. Account and character data will remain unchanged throughout the process. Is this a server merge? No. We're transitioning the live servers from dedicated hardware to the new technology in the cloud. And let's see. And I added a note. There have been a couple of instances over the last couple of weeks where the Leviathan server was unavailable for a short time. They seem to be able to get them back up in a reasonable time, but interesting that there's been actually some downtime. It's probably, it's new to the game, so it makes sense that there be a couple of hiccups. It doesn't feel like it's been too bad from what I've seen. No. But it has been down a couple of times at times where the other servers were live, is to be specific. And yeah, on August 30th, the day of this recording, the other servers were moved to the cloud successfully, and I was on them briefly today, which I always do, even though it's not Galactic season, just to keep in the good habits. Yeah. And yeah, it looked as normal as it ever did. If you're ever not sure if the server is up or down, or if it's something on your end or their end or whatever, there is an official server status page, swotor.com/server-status, and it's in the show notes, but that's exactly what it is. And
I put it in chat for everybody.
And they have a nice little page where it literally has an up arrow or down arrow for each server and what the current status is. All right, and let's see. Then this
one is very interesting.
This one, this is sort of, in many ways, sort of the big news. I mean, 731 is big too, but that's for the future, and it's sort of like kind of specific to the Galactic seasons, and it's all good stuff. But this was sort of interesting, and this is also going to be 731, but it will affect like the game from then on, because this is more of the sort of the economy stuff that they're going after. And interestingly, it's actually coming the other way. You'll see what I mean. Joe Stramaglia said, "Hello again, everyone. First off, I want to thank everyone who blah, 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 blah. Great. Okay. It's with great pleasure to report our economy is healing. I know it's a bit bumpy road to get there, but if we keep driving down it, we'll have a much more sustainable economy and a more approachable game. Some of our previously announced changes are still coming in a later patch, but we're making some additional changes in this update that we previously touched on. When 731 is live, you'll see the following. Okay. And quick travel costs will now take into account your player level. So this is character level rather than like legacy. I actually suggested like making it legacy bound, and anyway, they didn't go with that. They went maybe it would have been impossible. I have no idea on their back end. Anyway, quick travel costs will now take into account your player level. This is largely to help players at lower levels. The maximum cost catches our current maximum, which is 5,000 credits. He doesn't mention that, but that's what it is, around level 35. The maximum cost, the minimum cost matches our current minimum around level 17, and right now it's 100. The cost per distance matches our current cost at level 80. So interestingly, the cost per distance is going to go up all the way from 1 to 80, and so that won't max out till the very end. But the actual maximum will be at 35. So technically, you could do a 5,000 credit quick travel at 35, but it would have to be a really long travel. Like, it's probably going to be really, really huge. I'm not sure exactly which planets that would include. One thing I did notice under the old system, it's actually also the current system, is that Republic players have a bit of a disadvantage on their main planet on Coruscant. On Coruscant, it's easy to get almost every quick travel is 5,000 credits, because there's these huge gaps, and it only takes into account the linear distance, not the fact that most of the distance in between is actually empty space that you have to taxi over. it just does a linear check, and it's like, okay, that's how that far it is, and therefore you've capped out, and it's at 5,000. Basically, almost every quick travel on Coruscant that involves, from one area to another is 5,000 credits. Kind of crazy. And meanwhile, it's like I don't think you can even do a 5,001 on Drummond-Koss. It's not even possible, like for the longest one there is, as far as I can tell. Like, I kind of kept my eye out the last time I was on Drummond-Koss leveling up, and it was like, okay, that one's like 3,200, which is getting up there. But that was like one of the longest ones possible. That was like from the Dark Temple from like the somewhere in town, basically. Yeah, like near right or close to the spaceport. It was like about as far as you can get. It was like, and it was still not capping out. So yeah, this will actually really help, and especially characters on like Coruscant and certain other large planets like that.
Right.
And so yeah, and apparently it's gonna just creep up. Apparently level by level. They don't actually say if this is like a thing that will be every level it'll notch up a little bit, or if it's gonna be like every few levels. It doesn't really say. But in any case, the maximum goes up to 5,000 at 35. The minimum will match at level 17, although really that's fine. And the cost per distance will go all the way up until it matches the current at level 80. Interesting.
Yeah. All
right. So that's actually going to be a big help. And that's also going to help like new players and people who are still new to the game and all that sort of thing. So that's really, really good. Really, really good. Really, really nice. Trade and mail fees are now driven off of the Galactic Trade Network median sales data. So this means it will be based on the server and specific sales on that server. The data already exists within the game, so it's not a clean slate.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
It's very interesting.
Select items have their fees removed. The previously changed consumable gameplay items and a list of over 3,000 lower value items that were traded regularly on the GTN since 7.3. We may make continued adjustments here in the future. So you might have some items that sort of have the full boat price of whatever it is, but then you might try sending something and realize, oh, this one's on that other list and it's basically free. I assume the regular mail fee is still going to apply, but that's like nothing compared to the hundreds of thousands or millions of credits that I've seen for other things.
Yeah.
Items that have not been traded on the GTN may not have a fee until they've been traded for some time. This enables the game to determine appropriate fee value. That's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you might try to send something to a friend that's really expensive, but it turns out it hasn't been sold yet and they don't have any data, and you get a free ride for a little while.
There you go.
That's okay too. The Galactic Trade Network buyout price limit has been increased from 1 billion to 3 billion. So this is to allow trade of higher value items. Additional changes to the GTM will also come in future patches. So that is sort of the big one at the end there. Yeah. The quick travel thing is nice that that they're helping out the lower level characters for sure. The trade and mail fees is good. But the GTN going from 1 to 3 billion is huge because lot of items have just gone off of being traded on the GTN because it was too much. Now a lot of things that are at least on the lower end of the price scale should be able to be purchasable now. And I'm not sure, if how many things will sort of still be out of reach of the 3 billion, but it'll probably be. I assume that's gonna be pretty minor. I'm be interested in to see like, some of the items that that you just don't see on the GTN. It's like now I'll be able to at least look for them and see like hey,
exactly.
Is that actually available now? So it's like. Like I haven't seen like the ultimate crate of how much those go for. I don't know, but maybe we'll see them on GTN again. You certainly weren't going to get a whole crate for 1 billion credits, but
no. But
who knows?
I would be surprised if you get one for 3 billion.
We'll see we'll see about that one, but
yeah,
we'll see. And if the inflation keeps coming down, eventually maybe they will start to show up for that price. We'll see. Again, very exciting though. I'm really happy, and
it's me too.
And I've gotten some things from like the ultimate packs on the Galactic Seasons, and they're pretty much capping out at the 1 billion, and now they might go for more. So who knows?
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously this could actually temporarily kind of cause an increase in costs, or at least apparent costs, because there'll be more sales over 1 billion because it just wasn't possible before. But I think in the long run, especially since that's also going to whittle away with fees, it's going to help drain a lot of the extra credits out of the game, and that'll be good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And let's see. So, any other thoughts about that, Kitty? About trading or the GTN change, anything like that?
Not anything for the what we talked about here, but I did notice that on Satil Shan I went to go because I checked the GTN periodically to see if there's some items that I'm looking to collect.
Right.
And I picked up 3 different things, 3 different weapons that were going for an exorbitant amount of credits that I picked up for relatively inexpensive. So I don't know if it has anything to do with the trading fees or the tax or whatever, but prices seem to be down a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it was a coincidence. Like I just got on and happened to find those things on sale.
I've noticed things being whittled down a little bit as well. There is, I think a lot of it does also have to do with Galactic Seasons, just because there's a lot of crates out there that, because usually it's like, unless people are buying the ultimate crates, it's like those are new items being added to the game,
right?
And other than outside of Galactic Seasons, it's like there wasn't that many items just sort of being added to the game that way. It's like you could buy them directly from the cartel market, but those were always going to be expensive. But then there's a lot of mid-tier items that just, they were pretty expensive because there just wasn't a whole lot of them available. But now there are, because there's all these, bronze, silver, and even gold weapon crates available, and then you can turn around and
pop
sell
the
them.
bubble.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely increased it from the other end, the availability end of things. All right. Yeah, and Lady Melts is asking about maybe, like, if we're going to play a lot on Starforge, would we ever want to do guilds on Starforge? I'm not sure yet. We haven't really discussed that. We'd have to think a lot about that. And for one thing, I still consider this sort of a temporary sort of PvP fun thing.
So do I.
Sort of a sideline. I really do expect to be more or less on the Satil Shan going forward, but I don't know. So
me too.
Yeah. So we haven't really made any moves that way. We'll have to keep an eye out. I mean, maybe we don't expect there to be a merger, just as there was no merger, on the European side, although why would there? Because they're different languages and stuff. But I mean, that is like, it's kind of like the last merger that's really possible in the game, is sort of like to merge the 2 US servers. If they did that, obviously, then that would kind of take care of things, because I presume
take care of itself right away.
Yeah, exactly, because it always just kind of makes things roll over anyway.
I don't think Chilla or myself have any desire to run a guild.
Right, that's part of it too.
Like Chill said, this is temporary. Once I get my PvP stuff done, both of us are going to return to Satil Shan.
Yeah,
that's our home. We're Ootinians.
Ootiniites. I'm not sure how it goes.
Ootinites.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and let's see. There was a tweet that I thought was interesting as well. Let's see. Now that John Maloney asked Jackie Co. Now that you and SWTOR are at a new studio, will we see more community events like the Cantina's return? Or is it actually harder now? It would be nice to see the game at cons like PAX again. And then Jackie responded, "Hi, nothing to share at this time, but it is something we would love to see happen. I haven't attended one myself and definitely want to, and I know the team would love to see everyone again." So we know that there's an interest, both from people as well as especially from the team, but it doesn't sound like there's anything immediately on the horizon. I would love for that to happen again. If it was anywhere nearby or whatever, I would love to attend one too. So.
Yeah, I would love to see one. It'd be fun. We could go together too.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I would love that. Let's see. And finally, Ahsoka is now streaming on Disney Plus. Episodes 1 and 2 came out, and then now episode 3 just came out yesterday. I did get to see episode 3 as well. Did you, Kitty?
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. And what have you been thinking so far?
No spoilers, of course.
Yep.
But I've enjoyed it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
it's fun, and I am not. I like to enjoy the. I don't like to poke holes. I just want to enjoy the ride.
Right.
And it's fun. It's Ahsoka. It does feel a lot like Rebels season 4. You know, there's a lot of the Rebels
characters,
there,
and right.
And you've seen that from the trailers and stuff. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I can't wait to see where it goes. I really enjoy the fact that they're doing it at a specific day and a specific time. That way I don't have to dodge and duck my social media until I get a chance to see it. You know,
right.
It starts in the evening. Kitty and I usually eat dinner and watch it every week. So
nice.
But it's fun. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. What about you, Chill?
I've been enjoying it as well. I think I enjoyed episode 3 the most, really. 1 and 2 were good. They had some setup and stuff. I thought there was a little, for me, it felt like a little bit too much of like the thing where like characters knew things, but they weren't willing to share with the audience quite yet. You know what I mean? Right. Like they were setting things up, but the characters clearly knew, like had the background, but they weren't letting the audience in on it yet. And that was a little much of that for me, because it happened like several times, especially like in the first episode. But that's a very minor quibble. And now, you know, as things go on, things are being revealed. So, you know, that's happening less and less. And especially like the episode 3 was really a lot of fun.
I did see that they're going to be releasing some Black Series figures, and they look really good. They look really cool. I was just kind of dorking around, and I was like, hey, holy crap, those look great. Yeah. One of them is a chopper, and I don't know if Kitty's probably watching, but I like to buy her little like Funko Pops and stuff. But I think a Black Series chopper is in her future.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, and Chopper looked really good too. I liked how they made him. It's amazing that they could actually do something that's more physical when they're basing it off of a 3D cartoon. I mean, with humanoids, you kind of expect there's a certain translation that sort of happens that you sort of expect. Yeah, with Chopper, it just looked like Chopper. It was kind of amazing.
The same thing, yeah, yeah. Also, we rewatched episode 2 last night before we watched episode 3, and tell me what you guys think when you watch it, but I could understand what Chopper was saying the second time I watched it. It was almost like Filoni's just going, hey, what are you talking about?
Like a sort of Kenny from South Park sort of deal.
Yeah. Just when you watch it again, you'll know what Chopper's saying. Like it's almost undeniable what he's talking, what he's talking about. And I kind of like it. I'm like, oh crap, that's great.
All right. And then it looked like Shroud of Memory was on sale for 50% off.
Yeah, we got a.
Is that still true? I saw that was just the other day. It is still
true as of today. Kitty Treats just bought it.
Nice. Today. She'll have so much fun.
And I just want to shout it out because I think a lot of people don't buy it because it is kind of expensive.
Right.
And at 50% off, it's still a little pricey. Yes. But I recommend getting it for several reasons. One, the story is great.
Yeah.
It's very, I think it's the only chapter that is actually funny almost all the way through.
Right.
Which is, I think, an enormous, it's a break that those chapters need.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And you get, one of the other things is that you get HK back. So you get a companion back. And then the next thing you get another companion, you get Zoom.
Right.
Which is a very, very unique companion that is hilarious. And it always reminds us of our friend, one of our guild leaders, Fee. I call her Robot Fee.
Robot Fee. That's awesome.
And Jody knows what I'm talking about when I say that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, you get Robot Fee.
Yeah. And Zio is actually they can always alter this so that it doesn't happen anymore, but for the long time it's time in the game, she's been the strongest companion healer in the game. The reason being twofold. There's first of all, her channel is different. So instead of a medium cooldown channel with medium healing, it's a much longer cooldown, but it's a really beefy channel. It does a lot of healing. So that's one of them. But there's also a hidden ability that's not even on the bar, and it's one of those splat where it's like it splats the ground and everyone gets a little heal. That ability is not on the bar, and yet she has it anyway, and she uses it. So because of those two things, she's easily the best companion healer in the game. And so,
for sure.
So it's other than that, she's pretty standard. Her damage abilities are kind of the same. She does have sort of like the long cooldown channel damage wise. It's like, which is sort of interesting, but doesn't really affect things as much as on the healing side.
Yeah, I did notice that she was still healing really, really well.
Yeah.
I didn't have her up to 50, and she was crushing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like if one of your things is like to do like hardcore solo stuff, like it would definitely behoove you to get Zio so you can have her along as your companion for things. Hard
mode chapters.
Yeah.
Have her if you can.
Whenever you can.
Yeah, and then have that what's it called? The implant that heals you and gives you speed.
Oh.
What's that? I forget what it's called.
Right.
Between
those
two
set, I think it was called, or something like that.
Oh, what is it? It's the anyway.
I think it was used to be called the Victor set, about. But maybe it's not called that anymore. Yeah.
Maybe it is the Victor set. I don't know.
Yeah,
but that thing heals you and gives you speed. Oh man.
Yeah.
You are just
you're tearing.
You're tearing. It's good.
All right. Let's go ahead and give another jetpack code out, Kitty.
All right. I've got another name here.
All righty.
And it is Out of Control.
All right. Out of Control. Whoop, whoop. I'll do a little whisper with the code to Out of Control. Let's see. Where do we have one here? Let's see. Okay.
If you would like, give out code. If you'd like to join us. Oh, wait, I'll save that for you.
Okay.
Because I need to do the voice. Do you want to do the voice this time?
Oh, sure. Go for it.
Okay. If you'd like to play with us on the Ootini Knights Guild or on
Ootini Rage
side of Satil Sean's server. So I fucked it up.
I know. That's why I had such a long pause, is because I wasn't sure where you were.
Do a /C join Ootini to join Ootini channel. Then let us know you're a fan of the show. You can email us questions and comments about the show at OotiniCast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter using OotiniCast or on Mastodon at OotiniCast@mastodon.world. You can find contact details for our website at OotiniCast.com, which include how to subscribe to us using iTunes, Stitcher, and the rest. We record every show bi-weekly on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific by streaming at OotiniCastTV. I'll put it in the chat. There we go.
Twitch.tv/OotiniCast. Yeah.
There we go.
And who does our theme song?
Oh, yes. Our theme song is done. Doomsday is by Jean-Paul Zogby. Thanks to chat room and thanks to you, Chill. Thank you, Chill, for being you.
Kitty.
We'll see you in the next show.
We'll see you next show.
Bye,
all right.
everybody.
That was fun, actually.
Yeah.
All right. We've never done that before. Literally, that's the first time anyone other than me has done the outro. So well done. Woo!
I can do
all right. Do we have someone that we who's streaming that we should send folks to?
Right now.
I have to get over to the manage stream bit.
I'm looking.
None's popping up on the usual SWTOR one.
Hold on. I think I got somebody. Londoa. I'll put it in chat. Boop. There's his name.
Okay. Londoa.
He looks like he Good. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thanks, chat.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
We'll see you next time. Toodles.
Oh, did it go? Hang on a sec. I think it canceled on me. Hang on, I gotta restart the raid part here. Sorry, folks. It's gonna ask you again. Thanks again for coming.
If we deviate from the script, this is what happens.
All right. I'll go say hi to Londoa. Okay.
What up, OotiniCast? Hope you guys had a lovely stream. What up, Chills? Hello, Kitty.
Whoop.
Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in. Ootini.
All right. So we said hi. I'm going to stopping the stream, stopping the